greatest racing driver of any discipline right now? It's a tough but age-old question in motorsport, with finding an answer in just one series like F1 being hard enough, let alone across all of the different motorsport disciplines. But there is one way we can solve these debates, and it's happening this weekend. The Race of Champions is an event that sees drivers from F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, Le Mans, Rally and Rallycross come together and race in equal machinery on the same track to find out who's the champion of champions, and there can only be one. So how does it work? The drivers have the opportunity to compete for two different accolades, the Nations Cup and of course to be the champion of champions. And we've already had one of these, with France being declared as the fastest nation, with Sébastien Loeb and the real breakout star of the event, Victor Martins, claiming victory of the Cup for France for the first time since 2004. But tomorrow it all resets, and these 20 drivers compete for themselves to determine who is the champion of champions. First comes the group stage, and who faces who in each group has already been decided by a draw earlier this week. There are 6 groups, each with 3 drivers, and the winner of each group will progress to the quarterfinals. This is with the exception of Mick Schumacher, who was the runner-up of the last ROC event, will head straight to the quarterfinals. Sébastien Loeb also moves straight to the quarterfinals after having drawn a first round bye. There are 4 quarterfinals which take the format of best of 3 heats, meaning the first driver to win 2 heats in each round is put into the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, again it's best of 3 heats, with the first driver to win 2 heats heading for the final. And in the final, the last 2 drivers standing compete over 3 heats, and the first driver to win 2 will be crowned the champion of champions. So now we're familiar with the format, let's take a look at who will actually be competing, going by their nations' teams, but of course they're set to compete for themselves too. On Team Germany, 4-time Formula 1 world champion Sebastian Vettel will be partnered with former F1 driver and current WEC driver for Alpine, Mick Schumacher. For Finland, Valtteri Bottas, a 10-time F1 Grand Prix winner, will team up with Heikki Kovalainen, former F1 driver and a Grand Prix winner and a past ROC champion. Team France will be the 9-time Rally World Champion and 4-time ROC champion Sébastien Loeb, with F2 driver Victor Martins. Norway will be represented by the father-son duo Petter and Oliver Solberg. Petter is a World Rally champion and 2-time Rallycross champion, while Oliver is a current WRC2 driver and runner-up in that championship last year. Australia will have 2 teams, one for their supercar drivers Brodie Kostecki, the 2023 Supercars champion, and Will Brown, the 2024 Supercar champion, and another for their off-roaders, Molly Taylor, an Australian rally champion and Extreme E champion in 2021 and 2024, who'll be paired with the 2-time Dakar Rally winner on bikes and 2024 Baja 500 winner in the truck category, Toby Price. Team USA is the 11-time X Games Gold, 6-time Rally America champion and Nitro Cross champion Travis Pastrana, paired with Kurt Busch, NASCAR champion and Daytona 500 winner. Great Britain will be represented by 13-time Formula 1 Grand Prix winner David Coulthard and Alistair McRae, British Rally champion and champion of the FIA Asia Pacific Rally. On Team New Zealand will be Hayden Paddon, European Rally champion and 7-time New Zealand Rally champion, and Louis Sharp, the 2024 GB3 champion and 2023 British F4 champion. Finally, we have an all-stars team made up of the 7-time World Rallycross champion and Extreme E champion Johan Kristoffersson, paired with 2-time Bathurst 1000 winner and a class winner in the Spa 24 Hours and Daytona 24 Hours, Chaz Mostert. With such a big emphasis over ROC being on the drivers being in equal machinery, it's probably time to run through what these drivers will be running for the weekend. The fun of ROC is that not only are the rounds done with each driver in the same car, but also that each driver gets behind the wheel of a range of different machinery throughout the event, some of which they're more familiar with than others. The cars are assigned to the drivers prior to each run, and for 2025 there's a choice of 6 over 2 categories, 3 designed for off-roading and 3 designed for asphalt. In the off-road or mixed terrain category, there's the Polaris RZR Pro R, with a 0 to 100 kph time of 5.1 seconds, 225 brake horsepower and instant power with no gear shifting thanks to its CVT or automatic transmission. Next there's the Supercar Lights, rallycross cars that are 4-wheel drive, have a 0 to 100 kph time of 3.5 seconds and 320 brake horsepower. The final car in this category is new for 2025, never before seen at ROC, the FC2. This car is the same chassis as the Supercar Lights, but with more suspension travel, a 2.3 litre turbo engine, all-wheel drive and 500 brake horsepower. Onto the asphalt-suited cars, and first up is the KTM Expo Competition R, which is now an absolute staple of the ROC lineup. It's the lightest car of this year's 6 at just 800 kilos, but packs a punch with 355 brake horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. It also has a completely open cockpit, making for some cool shots of the drivers. The Subaru BRZ TS is brand new to ROC for this year and is actually a road car with 228 brake horsepower and rear-wheel drive, making it one for drifting around the circuit. Finally, there's the Toyota GR86, made in the same factories as the Subaru but for racing, backed by its Gazoo Racing branding. It has 245 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. Becoming the champion of champions will require the drivers to show that they can unlock performance from each of these machines with their unique requirements and the necessary driving styles. But while the cars will differ, the tyres they're all using have been made by just one supplier. Pirelli is supplying ROC with its tyres this year, using the most suitable selections from its 2024 World Rally Championship range before it was replaced as a series supplier by Hankook for 2025, along with some from its GT Racing range. The tyres will range in size from 15 to 18 inches and have been selected to help the drivers extract the best from these cars and put on the best show possible. This year, ROC is making its debut in Australia at the famous Accor Stadium in Sydney. This means that unlike the typical racing experience, fans can see the entirety of the track and all of the action from their seats. Speaking of tracks, this one took 8 days, 50 trucks of sand and 200 trucks of asphalt to put together and is almost a kilometre in length. For ROC, the competing two drivers run side by side and cross over in the middle, meaning you can see the battle visually as well as with the stopwatch. ROC is set to be an absolute spectacle of high-stakes competition and of course loads of fun between some of the world's best drivers. And it won't be long before the champions go up against each other to crown the best driver on the night on Saturday. Be sure to check it out as the perfect pre-season warm-up and a chance to see some familiar faces. But for now, like this video if you enjoyed this rundown, let us know in the comments who you're most excited to see on track, and as always, subscribe to Apex for more of the same.